ద బెట్ అనే షార్ట్ స్టోరీకి సంబంధించి నేను మీ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ ఆఫ్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో ఎంసీక్యూస్ అంటే మల్టిపుల్ చాయిస్ క్వశ్చన్స్ని ప్రిపేర్ చేశాను. చూద్దామా మరి? లెట్స్ గెట్ స్టార్టెడ్. ద ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఈస్, what was the subject of the initial argument between the banker and the young lawyer? A. The morality of capital punishment versus life imprisonment. B. The ethics of gambling and large financial wagers. C. The importance of intellectual pursuits over physical labor. D. The role of societal status in determining happiness. The right answer is A. The morality of capital punishment versus life imprisonment. Next, what was the banker's initial emotional state during the argument? What was the banker's initial emotional state during the argument? A. Calm and contemplative. B. Passionate and opinionated. C. Indifferent and bored. D. Anxious and uncertain. The right answer is B. Passionate and opinionated. Next, what was the young lawyer's initial stance on the death penalty? A. He believed it was a just punishment for heinous crimes. B. He argued that life imprisonment was a more humane alternative. C. He felt it was a necessary deterrent to future violence. D. He had no strong opinion on the matter. The right answer is B. He argued that life imprisonment was a more humane alternative. Next, what was the duration of the bet agreed upon by the banker and the lawyer? A. 5 years. B. 10 years. C. 15 years. D. 20 years. The right answer is C. 15 years. Next, what were the initial terms of the bet regarding the lawyer's confinement? A. Strict isolation with no communication allowed. B. Confinement in a garden lodge with the freedom to read and write. C. Imprisonment in a public jail cell with limited privileges. D. House arrest with limited access to visitors. The right answer is B. Confinement in a garden lodge with the freedom to read and write. Next, what did the banker initially feel about making the 2 million ruble bet? A. He was confident he would win easily. B. He considered it a foolish and reckless act. C. He saw it as a way to prove his intellectual superiority. D. He believed it would bring them both valuable experience. The right answer is B. He considered it a foolish and reckless act. Next, as the years passed, what was the primary way the lawyer spent in his time in confinement? I repeat, as the years passed, what was the primary way the lawyer spent his time in confinement? A. engaging in physical exercise and manual labor. B. Socializing with the gods and servants. C. Immersing himself in reading and studying. D. Writing letters and attempting to communicate with the outside world. The right answer is C. Immersing himself in reading and studying. Next. Which of the following was not something the liar was initially deprived of during his confinement? A. Human interaction. B. Books and writing materials. C. The ability to leave the lodge. D. News from the outside world. The right answer is B. Books and writing materials. Next. How did the banker's financial situation change over the 15 years? A. It remained stable and prosperous. B. It significantly improved due to successful investments. C. It gradually declined due to risky ventures. D. It fluctuated wildly but ultimately stayed the same. The right answer is C. It gradually declined due to risky adventures. Next. What motivated the banker to secretly enter the lodge on the night before the bet's expiration? A. He wanted to apologize to the lawyer for his arrogance. B. He intended to kill the lawyer to avoid paying the 2 million rubles. C. He was curious to see how the confinement had affected the lawyer. D. He planned to offer the lawyer a smaller sum to end the bet early. The right answer is B. He intended to kill the lawyer to avoid paying the 2 million rubles. Next. What did the banker find when he entered the lawyer's room? A. The lawyer asleep and oblivious. B. The lawyer frantically packing his belongings. C. A note written by the lawyer. D. The lawyer engaged in a lively conversation with visitors. The right answer is C. A note written by the lawyer. Next. What was the central theme of the lawyer's note? A. A plea for forgiveness and understanding. B. A bitter condemnation of the banker's cruelty. C. A profound disillusionment with worldly possessions and knowledge. D. A detailed account of his experiences during the 15 years. The right answer is C. A profound disillusionment with worldly possessions and knowledge. Next. According to the lawyer's note, what had his time in isolation taught him about life? A. The importance of social connections and human interactions. B. The enduring value of wealth and material comfort. C. The insignificance of earthly concerns and the pursuit of knowledge. D. The necessity of physical freedom and sensory experiences. The right answer is the insignificance of earthly concerns and the pursuit of knowledge. Next, what action did the lawyer take just hours before the bet was set to expire? A. He sent a message to the banker requesting an extension. B. He escaped from the lodge. C. He destroyed all the books he had read. D. He threw a lavish party for the gods. The right answer is B. He escaped from the lodge. Next, how did the banker react after reading the lawyer's note and realizing he had left? A. He felt relieved and triumphant. B. He experienced a profound sense of guilt and self-loathing. C. He was angry that the lawyer had broken the terms of the bet. D. He was confused and unable to understand the lawyer's actions. The right answer is B. He experienced a profound sense of guilt and self-loathing. Next, what did the banker do with the lawyer's note after reading it? A. He burned it immediately. B. He locked it away in his safe. C. He showed it to his family and friends. D. He reported it to the authorities. The right answer is B. He locked it away in his safe. Next, what was the ultimate outcome of the bet? A. The banker won the 2 million rubles. B. The lawyer successfully completed the 15 years and claimed the money. C. The bet ended without a clear winner. D. The two men agreed to donate the money to charity. The right answer is C. The bet ended without a clear winner. Next, what is the significance of the 2 million rubles in the story? A. It presents a fair compensation for 15 years of isolation. B. It symbolizes the corrupting influence of wealth and material desires. C. It highlights the vast difference in social status between the two men. D. It serves as a trivial object that ultimately loses its importance. The right answer is D. It serves as a trivial object that ultimately loses its importance. Next, what does the lawyer's transformation throughout the 15 years primarily demonstrate? A. The resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. B. The power of knowledge and intellectual pursuits to change a person. C. The destructive nature of prolonged isolation and sensory deprivation. D. The futility of material wealth and the superficiality of human values. The right answer is D. The futility of material wealth and the superficiality of human values. Next, how does Chekhov use the setting of the garden lodge in the story? How does Anton Chekhov use the setting of the garden lodge in the story? A. To create a sense of peace and tranquility for the lawyer. B. To symbolize the lawyer's gradual detachment from the outside world. C. To provide opportunities for interaction with nature and wildlife. D. To highlight the comfort and luxury afforded to the confined man. The right answer is B, to symbolize the lawyer's gradual detachment from the outside world. Next, what is the underlying message about freedom conveyed in the bet? A. Physical freedom is more important than intellectual freedom. B. True freedom lies in the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. C. External confinement can lead to internal liberation. D. The definition of freedom is subjective and varies from person to person. Next, how does the story explore the theme of the meaning of life? A. By emphasizing the importance of family and social connections. B. By showcasing the fulfillment that comes from financial success. C. By requesting the value of worldly possessions and intellectual pursuits. D. By highlighting the significance of contributing to society. The right answer is C. By requesting the value of worldly possessions and intellectual pursuits. Next, what literary device is most prominently used to reveal the inner thoughts and feelings of the banker? Understand the question first. What literary device is most prominently used to reveal the inner thoughts and feelings of the banker? A. Dialogue. B. Flashback. C. Interior monologue. D. Symbolism. The right answer is C. Interior monologue. Next, what can be inferred about the lawyer's character before he agreed to the bet? A. He was a cautious and pragmatic individual. B. He was impulsive and driven by a desire to prove a point. C. He was primarily motivated by the potential financial reward. D. He was deeply committed to intellectual pursuits. The right answer is B. He was impulsive and driven by a desire to prove a point. Next, how does the ending of the story leave the reader? A. With a clear sense of resolution and closure. B. With a feeling of hope and optimism for the future. C. With lingering questions about the true nature of the bet's impact. D. With a strong sense of moral judgment against one of the characters. The right answer is C. With lingering questions about the true nature of the bet's impact. Next, what genre of literature does the bet primarily belong to? A. Science fiction. B. Romance. C. Philosophical short story. D. Adventure. The right answer is C. Philosophical short story. Understand the question first, yaar. What genre of literature does the bet primarily belong to? The answer is philosophical short story. Next, which of the following best describes the tone of the bet? A. Humorous and light-hearted. B. Melancholy and reflective. C. suspenseful and action-packed? D. Optimistic and uplifting. The right answer is B. Melancholy and reflective. Next, what is the role of the minor characters? For example, the watchman in the story. A. To provide comic relief. B. To advance the main plot. C. To offer insights into the main characters' personalities. D. To emphasize the isolation of the liar. The right answer is D. To emphasize the isolation of the liar. Next, how does Chekhov use the element of time in the bet? A. To create a sense of urgency and suspense. B. To highlight the gradual changes in the characters' perspectives. C. To establish a clear timeline of events and their consequences. D. To symbolize the cynical nature of human existence. The right answer is B. To highlight the gradual changes in the characters' perspectives. Next, what is the central irony present in the story's conclusion? A. The banker ends up wealthier than before the bet. B. The liar's pursuit of knowledge leads to material success. C. The liar's renunciation of wealth saves the banker from ruin. D. The initial argument about the death penalty becomes irrelevant. The right answer is C. The liar's renunciation of wealth saves the banker from ruin. Thank you.